Hello, welcome to the second match of my League 44 season, Division D2, playing Mistgun here. This is Mistgun's first match of the season. Okay, so we're going to try a new approach to kingdom analysis here and start by figuring out how we're going to score. It seems pretty clear that scoring here is happening with provinces. There's a little bit of LVP in the cemetery pile, but not much, and those clog up your deck quite a bit. So probably not going to be playing a lot with cemeteries. The only village that we have is the one ghost that you can get from your Haunted Mirror. So that's something to think about. I think you probably want to get that. So if we're playing with draw, we're going to be using stables, most likely, for the draw. Village effect, you get every other turn. You can get plus buy. You can like Seaway on Harbinger, potentially. And then use that to get some plus buys occasionally, which could be useful later in the game. Then again, if you have 5, you might just want to keep playing with stables. Harbinger can be nice with stables a little bit. You can top deck a copper, and then play the stables, and then if you've got a bunch of stables, you can get that reliably drawn. So looking potentially at some tricks with that. So do you play with Young Witch at all? I'm not really seeing it. Monastery is the bane, and I think you want to be using Monastery for trashing anyways, although stables decks are better with a little bit of coppers. It's also maybe a little bit of consideration with Baron, where thinning is going to be a little bit slow, so you start like Baron Harbinger. That doesn't seem great. Because Remake is so strong at trashing, I think you just want to open with Remake. You can remake estates into silvers, coppers into nothing. Yeah, that seems like the way to start. So the plan is to get remake, get a silver, I guess, to get some stables, then get some harbingers, a couple more stables, get potentially use Way of the Rat near the end of shuffles to get more copies of stables or harbingers, and then turn 10 or so, potentially transitioning to provinces and try to have enough stables and treasures that you can make that work. I think I want to get a silver here just to maximize my chance of hitting 5 next shuffle. Harbinger has a little bit of a high roll if you draw it turn 4 and you play the remake on turn 3 or something like that. But I think remake silver makes the most sense to me. I had not considered Artisan on a 6. Artisan can gain stables and top deck them for your next turn. You're not going to be drawing deck for a while, so having both Remake and Artisan does not seem like a significant issue. Over the course of the game, Remake's going to gain you 3 or 4 or 5 costs, potentially. And if you have a dud or something, and late in the game it can gain duchies, whereas Remake is probably not super useful late in the game. So I could pick up an Artisan here. Pretty good chance of hitting my Remake next turn. 5 out of 7. And being able to trash a couple of estates. Then with the second Remake. Second Remake is usually decent. You can remake the first Remake into a stables. I do like the Artisan stuff, so I'm going to go with that. And I did hit the nice draw, colliding Remake with 2 estates. So I'll be able to get a silver, and I think I'll go ahead and get the Harbinger. One silver, 1 Harbinger. Okay, so I've trashed 2 starting cards. The question now is, do I want to get the Monastery? With Remake, with Artisan, the Monastery is going to be able to trash 2 fairly often. The question is, do I need to trash 2 that often? And like if I end the game with a Remake in deck, that's not the end of the world. I think I will just pass turn here and not buy a Monastery. I don't think I need 2 trashers in the deck. So they pick up a silver and I assume either another silver or Harbinger. So they've got quite a few more silvers than I do. They've got 5 silvers already? Silver is a decent card. They've got 2. I've got 2. They gained 2 here. I'm only counting 7 in the log, which is why I'm a little confused. So 1, 1. Oh, I remade, so I have 3. Okay. Feels a touch early for Seaway. And I'd like to get my stable stuff going, so I'm going to pick up a stables now. Start getting the draw. I can top deck that stables even, which is quite nice with the Harbinger. Top deck the stables, and I've got an artisan and some coppers. I'm not going to trash the Haunted Mirror. I am looking to try to pick up a ghost at some point. It's a little bit tricky with. It can be a little bit tricky with remake in the deck playing the ghost successfully. So I've got 3 silvers already. I think I'm going to go with the Harbinger. The plan here will be if I collide the Artisan and the Remake to Artisan gain something, and then I can top deck the Remake if I want, or I can top deck the stables that I've gained. So I feel pretty decent about my position. My Artisan missed the shuffle, which is a little bit sad, but I've got the stables and the 2 Harbingers. They've got more silvers. They're just gaining more remakes. Interesting. I think that's a little bit of a high variance strategy. There's a high risk, high rewards situation going on there. I don't see any need to top deck that. So I can now Artisan, gain a stables, top deck it, and I will go ahead and Seaway the Harbinger. Just is going to be nice to have plus buy in the kingdom. And here I'm potentially looking to get a ghost on this turn. Okay. So I can trash Copper, Haunted Mirror. So I guess the advantage of being the Monastery is I can thin the Remake and I don't have that ghost issue. The disadvantage is, well, I'm always, I think, getting the ghost here. I can always rat the Remake if, I guess, if you hit it, right? Yeah. So it would be a no op essentially, or I could play it once and then no op it. So the advantage to keeping the Remake is if I have 4 costs in the deck. What are the 4 costs that I have? Potentially Cemeteries. I could remake Harbingers on the last turn of the game into Cemeteries for extra points. And I've trashed, what, 4 already? I've played the Remake. How many times? I've played the Remake. This is my 6th trash, so I'll have trashed 6 cards. So I've only got 4 starting cards left, an estate and 2 coppers? Really? No, I must have an estate and 4 coppers. Played turn 8. I played turn 6. And I play in turn. Wow, I am really thin on coppers. I think I'm just going to end buys here. I do need to be a little bit careful I don't trash all of my coppers, because I started with 6 and I've trashed 3. So I've still got 3 more. You have to be a little bit careful you don't trash all of your coppers, or at least all your treasures, because of the stable stuff. So that's just something to watch out for. I don't see any reason to go here. It's a little bit sad to trigger the shuffle, but I've got a couple stables down there. I've got some good stuff. I'm just going to kind of click through these. So I can top deck the Remake, or I can top deck a stables. I've got a couple of coppers down there. Alternatively, I can remake now. That doesn't feel as good. So that would have been an argument for eating the Monastery, is that I can thin without having to waste my terminal space. I think I'm just going to get 2 stables here, and then look to pick up some extra treasures next turn. And maybe I'll grab a monastery with a spare buy at some point coming up here. The sort of nightmare draw is you draw, ghost 4 stables or something. So you can do a little bit of maneuvering around that. Especially if I'm discarding coppers with stables, I can potentially use Harbinger as my last draw to top deck the copper. So I've got a clean shuffle except for 1 copper or 1 silver. It hurts my payload ever so slightly, but that's not a huge problem. Okay, so they finished off the stables. I'm just going to keep drawing here. I don't think I want to top deck. Well, I guess I can. I can also, before I do this, well, I'm going to do this anyways, because it gets me to a clean shuffle. And I can draw that, so I've got a fully drawn deck. That's quite nice. I can gain an action and play it twice here. What does that action want to be? A Young Witch? Is that worth the 2 curses I give them? Maybe. I kind of just want to buy a gold. I could also top deck a Harbinger, buy a gold. I'll be able to use Remake and Artisan effectively next turn with that play, because I will have multiple actions and I should be drawing deck. They did win the stable split, which is slightly annoying. They gained 2 stables in a row, 2 turns in a row, it looks like. No, the turn I got the ghost, I didn't buy anything. So I can play Artisan, gain Harbinger, buy gold. Buy gold, and then move towards the greening phase. I don't think the stables thing is the end of the world. My deck's going to be fairly thin. I can also, with ghost tricks, start doing some fun things. Maybe? I think it's a little bit too early for the Young Witch stuff, although, I don't know. I mean, so if I gain a Young Witch, buy a gold, I double play the Young Witch, so I attack them twice. They could buy a monastery and get lucky and hit. I can also rat this Artisan, which I would do, I think, if there were still stables. I'd rat this Artisan and then ghost the Artisan. I don't have enough actions, so this makes the most sense to me to top deck a Harbinger and buy a gold. I could also buy us, at some point, buy a cemetery to finish cleaning up, but I should be able to finish cleaning up here pretty easily. They have a lot more terminals than I do. They still have more junk cards in their deck, but they have a lot more terminals than I do. One assumes they're going to try to get towards their... They also have a lot more silvers. They have a lot more everything than I do, except for Harbingers and Ghost. So we'll see what their plan is. I mean, I can even keep this estate potentially, although that seems crazy. Start greening here and then, see what they're going to be able to accomplish. They've certainly built a much dirtier in terms of many more cards, less trashing deck than I have. They've managed to add 1 more stables. Maybe I should have prioritized getting the 5th stables. But the size of the decks that we have, it doesn't seem super problematic for me that you need 6 stables. They also have a lot more remakes, so they still have a remake. They've got 2 remakes and an Artisan. So they have multiple... They're going to have terminal issues. They still haven't done Seaway yet. I guess the turn I bought Seaway, I could have bought a stables. I think I'm happy having this Seaway. It gives me a little bit more control. They're greening very early here. I'm playing both of these potentially. It lets me gain an action, potentially play it with the Artisan. I'm not sure what that action would be. So if I rat it, I think I just have to play it because of the I think I'm going to rat this. It gives me some amount of pile pressure having all these Harbingers in play. Lets me run down that pile. And do I need... What am I gaining with the Artisan, I guess? I'm just probably going to end up getting a silver this turn. Top decking of stables. So, do that. Don't know if you heard that. A bird flew at full speed into the window directly in front of me. I will take the Harbinger, I guess. I will take the copper. That guarantees, as I said, the trick. I guarantee that I'm drawing treasures. Okay. So I'll top deck a Harbinger. So the plan was to Artisan for a silver, top deck a stables, and then remake copper into nothing, estate into silver, and then buy a province. So again, that was a ghost turn. So that turn's going to be bigger and stronger than my non-ghost turns. I got to have the ghost turn before they did, and whether that matters. Again, their deck has a lot more, quite a bit more stuff in it, I guess. I have the 5 Harbingers for some reason. Mostly because I want to keep a finished deck, and the Harbinger doesn't hurt and potentially can help that. They've got the 2 remakes, the Artisan. They have to be worried about playing their Ghost and hitting the remakes unless they can get a full shuffle and top deck something with Artisan. At this point, I'm not sure what that thing is. Is that the Young Witch? Is that improve Baron or something? I guess we both got rid of our estates, so Baron's out of the picture. I have 3 silvers, which means they have 7 silvers and 5 coppers in this deck still. Duchy into gold, silver into remake. That feels a lot more than you need to do on this kingdom. It's turn 12 already. I started promising turn 11. Cemetery, really? They have a bunch of coppers they needed then. Once the stables go, that's going to be quite sad for them. They can rat it. I'm not going to top deck that. I really would like to find a stables. Don't top deck. Don't top deck. Come on, stables. Okay. Well, this was unpleasant for me. So, I'm almost certainly going to hit a ghost with this. I'm going to hit a ghost with this. Stables with this ghost. I have 3 stables in the bottom 7 cards, so I can gain a silver, top deck a copper, which will get skipped. I should have a silver and a gold down there to make sure the stables can draw. The only question is, do I want to gain a different action and double play it? Like double play a Harbinger by a Harbinger. I'm really being... Like, there's not a third pile I can easily empty. I don't know, like cemetery at some point or something. Any tricks here I can do with remake? Probably not. Luckily, Topher's telling me he's joking here. I guess I'm just going to gain a silver and top deck a copper and buy a duchy. And hopefully have some treasures in hand here. They're high value treasures, but there are treasures. I guess the joke is I could have gained an Explorer, double revealed it, and very likely hit my province to gain 2 golds. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't save the day. It's still a huge opportunity cost of missing your ghost turn, of having your ghost turn be complete waste. But you know, it's okay. I'm I don't know how I feel about that duchy. In retrospect, I think duchy could be the third pile. And lowering duchies prevents them from getting their remake stuff going. There's also, again, the remake stuff on Cemetery. I'm surprised they were able to get as many stables. I guess they remade one. Maybe that was a little slow. My deck dudding there was quite unlucky with 3 stables in the bottom third out of 4. But so they've got more stuff than I do, so they're less likely to dud in general. Although they're doing these remake tricks, I guess. They're doing these remake tricks, I guess. I don't quite see what it's doing for them. I think I should be able to reliably province. And turns where I don't province, I can pick up like Harbingers and Silvers and stuff and duchies. I'm just, yeah, I feel like I'm in good position here. We will see if they continue. If I have, even if I have one more dud turn and they take off every turn, they're in good shape. Although, again, I will have 2 good ghost turns before they have even one. So the thing that I guess I get worried about is they get a bunch of golds off of these repeated remake plays. Then they get their Seaway down on Harbinger, and then they can double province potentially. I guess I'm not. Okay. This went quite well. I can top deck a silver. Decide if I want to top deck a copper. I don't think I want to. What do I have down there? I've got remake. So I could remake 2 coppers here, but I think in a stables deck I don't necessarily want to do that. Yes, the advantage to doing that is I thin 2 coppers out of the deck and I've got 6 treasures. So maybe I will just go ahead and do that. I lose 1 coin for having ordered this wrong. But that, I suppose, is life. Oh, no, I didn't lose 1 coin. Okay. So I've got 13 money here, or 16 money. I think the plan is just to remake 2 coppers, top deck a Harbinger, and buy Province Duchy. So I buy Province Duchy, I guess. So remake 2 coppers. Yeah, so they bought Province last turn. Yeah. So I've got 13. Top deck a silver, buy Province Duchy, or gain a Harbinger here, top deck it. We can also gain like an improve here and play it and turn something into something. I don't know if I want to do that. I can at least think about it for a second. So they don't have plus buy, so me being in a position potentially to double province is on a gold turn, on a ghost turn, is pretty strong. I'm not going to be able to double province next turn because I'm not going to have the draw for it, I don't think. So I'm just going to take a Harbinger and then Province Duchy. Or just Province Harbinger. I'm not like super worried about them double provincing out. So if they double province, then I double province. So if they can double province next turn, they're at 20. And then double province after that, they get to 32. So I've got to get to 33, which is 18 points. So that's going to need a duchy. Yeah, I'm kind of unfortunately wrecking my deck with green cards. And I'm not going to be able to draw here. So perhaps their strategy is coming into fruition. I don't have a lot to think through on for my next turn. I'm just going to click on Harbingers until I see something that's not a Harbinger and then reassess. So this means they didn't draw through. They've got 3 stables down there, so their next turn should be good. The question of now what they're top decking, or maybe they have a stables in hand and they're top decking a ghost, or top decking a stables, ghost the stables by province. That doesn't seem like a bad turn. I wonder if last turn I should have double provinced. It feels like removing the 2 coppers is better. They still don't have plus buy. They can gain Duchy Province in a turn with Artisan. They can potentially, with Remake, do stuff. They've got 4 costs. Still, do they? They have 1 Remake as a 4 cost. They've got 3 costs. They've got silvers they can remake into cemeteries. So there's stuff that can happen still. And I can track that as well on a big turn. I can look to be remaking Harbingers into cemeteries if there's like 1 province left, and that gets me over the hump. They're getting a cemetery. Wow. That's surprising to me. Are they deciding that they haven't thinned enough and they need to get rid of coppers? They've got 2 coppers still. That feels awkward. I'm not quite sure what their plan is here. Okay, they ghosted the stables and bought a province. Okay. Well, this is just a turn where I click on province. I didn't get to my ghost, which is not great, but I'm in a decent position here. Their best turn here is province duchy, and my best turn is also province duchy. So my best turn is double province duchy, although that seems pretty unlikely. Maybe they can go province double duchy. And I don't actually know that I can do double province myself. Can I do double province somehow? I think I'm going to be 1 coin short of double province. I had hoped to get my ghost last turn. And my 4 stables were in the bottom 15 cards out of 23, which is moderately unlucky, I'll say. Not incredibly unlucky, but moderately unlucky. So if they province, can I do tricks with improve? Potentially, I think that still only gets me to 15. I'm not going to have enough draw probably to get to double province, but I could potentially get an improve and play that and turn something into something. So seemingly their best line is going to be province, duchy, duchy. Then I will probably respond with double duchy and have a 2-point victory lead, and hopefully have a ghost coming in. Almost certainly I should be able to draw that, unless my stables are like the bottom, all in the bottom 4 cards. So they can artisan gain a baron, I suppose. Gives them a plus buy and plus estate. So that gets them to double province, estate, duchy, which gets them to what is that? 16 points. It gets them to 32. So then I can respond to just province duchy myself, which seems like that will win for me. So that seems like a bad line. And like province, that requires them getting to 16 money, which seems possible. They've got a couple golds now. They've got a bunch of silvers. So 16 money doesn't seem unreasonable. So they could get double province here, which they shouldn't. Since I can't get to double province, like the only way I can win next turn is if they lower that much. Missing my ghost in all my stables last turn was unfortunate. I gained a duchy. Top deck of stables, I assume. Remake, so they can remake for some VP. So they're not going for double province line because they didn't get the plus buy. And I don't think there's any sneaky piles I can do without plus actions. Cemeteries into duchies. Oh wow, so they're gonna empty the duchies. No, they just bought a province, okay. We'll take a copper, take a silver, I mean. No, I want to take a... What do I have down there? I have 2 stables down there. I think I need to take this silver. This is kind of unbelievable. Literally the last card of my deck. Guess I will take a top deck of silver. I don't... Top deck of Harbinger. Artisan gain a duchy. Top deck of stables. I don't really want to trigger this terrible shuffle. This current shuffle though was just absolutely atrocious. So if I top deck a silver and trigger a shuffle with the stables, I can't win this turn. So I just want to get a duchy this turn and try to win next turn somehow on my ghost turn. I will have a ghosted stables. So we'll top deck a silver. Artisan a duchy. That. And gain what with 3? And improve. Potentially can do stuff with that. Kind of just like my shuffle was so bad that I'm just losing this game now. Maybe they were in better position, but that was unbelievably bad. So they can't actually gain a baron. So they are capped at 1 province here. 1 province, 2 cemeteries is essentially their cap. So that's good to note. So maybe I'm still in this thing. I think 1 province, 2 cemeteries is their cap. They can't artisan gain a baron for the plus buy. So they can remake 2/3 costs into cemeteries and buy a province. So that's 10 is what they can do. Can I beat 10? I don't know. The improve will help that. Potentially remake will help that as well. I can artisan gain a cemetery. So I've got options here. Always important to, at this stage, check. They were first player, so I have the option at least to go for a tie if they can get to that line here. And I'm starting the turn with 3 actions and drawing 6 cards. So decent chance to find all my stuff. Obviously, I really need to find the Artisan and or the Remake and or the Improved, depending on what they can accomplish here. I'm assuming they don't have any more stables in hand. Otherwise, they would have just played them. I don't think there's any lines where they remake stables or top deck stables or something. Maybe they're thinking about having the game last 2 more turns, so they're not going to buy Province at all. It doesn't seem without the realm of possibility that if they get like 2 cemeteries here, I can get 4. You know, improve into 1, remake into 2, buy 1, or remake into improve into 1, remake into 1, buy 2. Seems reasonably doable for me. I can also potentially empty the Harbingers fairly easily. But I assume this is just take cemetery. Or they're going to take like Young Witch or something, top deck it and ghost it. Which I had thought about doing, obviously, early in the game and didn't think it was that useful. At this point in the game, it gives you some cycling, it gives you some VP, I guess. 2 VP. If they don't take any green here, I can empty Harbingers very easily. That just takes 12 money, and gained a Baron. Okay, so they're going for it next turn, and we'll see what they buy here. So the lines we're considering are piling Harbingers, piling cemeteries, buying Province, and winning. The Baron on top of the deck is interesting. It gains them 4 VP, gains them 2 VP and the 2 buys, which is quite nice. If they ghost it, which I assume they are. I don't know what else they're thinking about, having not clicked Play All Treasures yet. Notably, I can't remake into a Harbinger, but I can Artisan 1 and play it, or I can Artisan Cemetery Baron. I can Artisan a bunch of stuff. So, like in theory, I need 11 money and an Artisan play to win if they don't green here. If they grab, say, 1 cemetery, then I need to do other things. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure what that plan was. I'm just going to allow these undos for simplicity and not really think about what their strategy is. Let me top deck a silver, draw on. Okay, I've got the things that I need in my hand. So there's not really a good place to put this. So let me now count if I can get 5. If I can get 5 cemeteries, I can Artisan for a cemetery. I can improve for a cemetery. I need to get to 12 money. That's 5, 7, 10, 11. Do I have 12 money? I need to remake. I need to find the remake, which means I don't top deck here. Let me count that again. 7, 9, 11. Wait, 7 plus 6. 7 plus 6 is equal to 13. That's 5 cemeteries, right? Okay. So I'm drawing, I'm top decking, I'm drawing, top decking. Okay. So I've done something wrong here. I've only got, I have to draw on, try to find something. Okay, I can rat. So, let's count with rat. Artisan gain Harbinger. Rat 2 Harbingers. I have 7 money in hand. I buy a Harbinger, and I improve into Cemetery. Artisan gain Harbinger. Discard 2. I'll have 7 money. I can buy Cemetery, improve into Cemetery. buy Harbinger. Artisan Harbinger. No, I don't have actions. So I can Artisan gain Harbinger and play it. That's okay. So, so I can Artisan gain Harbinger, draw twice, get it this silver, so that'll give me 8, 11, 13 money, and I just need to buy, I should have it here. I just need to double check. Artisan gain Harbinger, play Harbinger, top deck silver, play Harbinger, draw something, play improve. I will have 2, 4, 10, 13 money. Buy 3 Harbingers in a cemetery, improve a Harbinger into cemetery. Okay. Nuts. Okay. Top deck improve. Top deck silver. Okay, so buy 3 Harbingers, cemetery, improve, Harbinger into cemetery. Improve Harbinger into cemetery. Whew! Good game there. Sorry I didn't get to see the final game state. Got kicked out of the client right as that finished, but I will rejoin you all in game 2.